you might lose money if you do that. And if you want somebody to tell you what to do, you can hire that, but your mileage may vary on your results. I've not really heard anybody that's been like super like, man, my financial advisor is the best one I've ever like probably I've never even heard that before. So
We need to take that last sentence off of there.
Just remove it.
yeah, I mean that's the truth though. Like we're not certified financial advisors though. So if you want financial advice based on your personal situation, there's people that you can hire for that. You know what's funny, Jack, is they had to pass a law in the United States just like 2 years ago to require financial advisors to take your personal financial situation in mind when they give you advice.
Isn't that it's kind of disgusting because prior to that it was all about fees.
Yeah.
So they were making individual fees off individual products and really not caring about what your goal was or your risk tolerance or any of that. So it
Wow.
changed that, but that didn't change the lack of results people get, you know.
Like I
Still,
said, I've not ever heard anybody bragging about how good their financial advisor did for them.
I know.
I, so are you guys telling me that it, for the past other when they passed that law, financial advisors weren't fiduciaries?
Oh, they were fiduciaries, but they didn't have to take your personal financial situation in mind when they gave you advice. They could just give you general advice and not have
Or,
to look at your personal financial situation.
or sell
What?
a high ticket product, you know. They could sell a
That's the
limited
way it was.
partnership.
They had to pass a law in the United States to make financial advisors, registered financial advisors, actually look at your personal financial situation before they gave you any advice.
Wow.
That's the truth. Like you can go look it up. It's only like 2 or 3 years ago that that
I,
went into effect.
I believe you. That's just like Jack said, that's disgusting.
That's the crooked financial game that's been out there.
Oh my God. Yeah, Gregory says, imagine that. Wow.
So
Yeah, it's
Oh my
dangerous.
gosh.
that's why I'm a personal skeptic. You know, my mom, uh, her financial advisor got her on a Ponzi scheme, and that was before that law went into effect, actually.
Yeah, I read about that on the news. Some small brokerage in Missouri, actually, like right next door, had scammed like $3 million. Like they were funneling it into like vacation homes and rentals and everything else. And it didn't come out until almost 10 years later when people went to go withdraw their money and they're like, well, there actually is no money to withdraw.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but like a lot of the financial advisors want to funnel you into an annuity, and usually the one that's their favorite is the one that they get the biggest kickback out of.
Hmm. Where was I leaving? I was leaving, I think Jacksonville one time, and there was an annuity conference going on in the hotel, and all the annuity issuers were there. They had their booth and hundreds of financial advisors. And the annuity guys, they had the highest ticket product the guy could make a commission off of. They were giving away trips, Bahama trips, cruises, everything to these guys. So even though there's a financial fiduciary responsibility, whatever, you can never discount the fact that these guys are pushing commission. You know, they want that's where the recognition is. So just consider that. And sometimes you might need one. You know, you might need one if you have a situation with an elderly parent or a child, a disabled child, and you know you might need it. But just go slow and go easy, and you can do it yourself much better than anybody can do it for you.
Yep. And Jack and I sit here and show off real numbers, real accounts, real profits, real trades every single day. So make sure you come back and see us every
Yeah,
day. Look at that. I'm almost back to the top. Look how
love it.
close I am. Look at that. I booked that loss last week on a stupid trade, tried something new at the exact wrong time, and touched the hot stove. I knew it was risky, but thought I was going to get away with it. Didn't. Paid the price. Took a little step back, but I'm almost back to the top again. Small, consistent gains every day has been the name of the game here. I started this account back on tax day 2025. So coming up, I'm about what 2, 3 more months. I'll be
Hmm.
1 year into this, and the goal is to build this into an account that generates $50,000 a month. So far, I'm just shy of $60,000 for the year, so I've got a ways to go to 50,000 a month. But I was doing some projections, Jack. If I keep on this beer money trade, possibly, if I keep scaling it the way I have been, possibly by October, maybe November of this year, if I can be consistent, not take big losses, I could actually hit that $50,000 a month goal.
Really?
It's kind of crazy
Wow.
with the
In
compounding.
August of this year?
No, November, October, November, somewhere in there.
Wow. Wow, wow. That's amazing, dude. Okay.
That's
I
another
hope
10
you hit
months
it.
of doing it.
I hope
So,
you hit it. I believe you can.
so this thing might start scaling up really big here in the coming months.
That would be amazing, especially sharing it, all the trades, almost all the trades for free, but the concepts and principles you're sharing for free.
Well, every trade I do, every trade that gets closed in this account is posted here for everybody. All you have to do is go make an account at KInfo and you can see them right here. They're all posted publicly. So I don't hide anything. There's that loss right there. First big one that's the biggest one I've taken since I started this challenge. So went a little, got a little full of myself and paid the price for it, but almost got it back now. You can see I went from, kind of hit or miss, a few trades a week to starting back there October. I started trying to make a little bit of money every single day. And the money keeps getting bigger too. You can see the candles keep growing a little bit as we go in time. So a little bit of money every day starts adding up to more and more money every day. And yeah, be careful out there. You can lose money.
Good.
I lost
And,
money.
and I always like to say that you can also make a lot of money.
Oh, that's the thing. It snowballs. People don't get it. Once you get consistent and you're able to make a little bit of money and keep it by the end of the week. If it starts out, make some money this week and keep it by Friday. Don't lose it. And then make some money today. Keep it tomorrow. Make some money tomorrow. Keep it, and keep all the money by the end of the week. And that's what I started trying to do back there in October, November. And, lo and behold, I've only had 2 loser days in the last 3 months.
Okay, Bubby, I got to show you something.
Yeah.
Let's see it, Jack. What you got? We never see Jack's screen, so this should be really good.
He's going to show us like this ridiculous. Usually every time he shows me, it's like, what?
Oh,
Yeah. Got some nice numbers here. Ooh.
Just chipping and popping away. That's year to date, fellas.
beautiful.
I like it.
Yeah.
And
All right.
it's off to a hot start.
Off to a hot start. Yeah, yeah, not a bad one. That's just premium. The other one, let's see if I got this one up here. Uh, can you see this one?
You stop sharing there. You have to reshare.
Damn, it's always something.
Click the wrong button, dude.
I know.
Trust me, I do. I did the same thing on Zoom the other night. Somebody was like, "Can I see your screen?" I was like sharing the wrong one for 5 minutes, so don't worry.
Yeah, this is just my buy and hold. I rarely trade this stuff. But 2026 is not starting out terrible.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Haven't got dividends in it.
No, that's in a whole separate account. That's just my
I
other
see.
one. Yeah.
So you got more in one account than I got in everything I got.
Well, I got it all spread around. That's not everything.
I was just saying that you got more than one account than I got in everything I got.
Oh. Well, the dividend thing grows, man. That snowballs like you just can't believe it. Everybody should start out now today with a dividend stock. That's the cornerstone of my whole thing. I got more in that than anything. But then I got a couple trading accounts, the dividend account, the buy and hold, the high tech account. That's all in there. Over time, over time, over time. How I built that thing up, I'll just tell you, is I used to sell covered calls monthly and for years and just take the premium from selling a call on, let's say, NVIDIA and then go buy something else like AVGO and then have a bunch of AVGO and selling calls on that and then go buy KLAC, just that kind of thing. So I was actually, in hindsight, using that premium to build a position in different things, and I was getting those stocks kind of for free because it was all coming from premium income that I was putting into the market in the high tech, high flyer stuff, and that and some capital that I had, cash, and that's kind of it. So now I got the 50K a month challenge going with Jeffrey just on premium income, and then I'm still managing the dividend portfolio, trying to get at that up to 10 grand a month in dividends, and then managing the high tech stuff that I got way too much in. It's way too unbalanced. It's not diversified at all. So don't follow my portfolio rules. It's just in two or three stocks mostly.
Well, right there, you can see my year to date on these three accounts. This is
That's awesome, dude.
that's an IRA. It's just kind of flat, but it's got a bunch of profit booked, but it's I guess Tesla's down a little bit, so it's got Tesla in it. And then my individual here, it's almost all in cash right there. I do the beer money trade in that account too, and got almost $7,000 profit in the account this year. And you can see not a very big account. And then I have the 50K challenge account. This is a taxable account right here, and it's kind of backup money that if I need some cash quick, this is where it comes out of. And I got the 50K challenge account that's about 120K, and that's up about, well, you can see what it's up over here. Year to date, about 7 grand. So
That's so cool, man.
and that's, these are my big accounts right here. These, that's so this is 120 plus 40, so I got 160-ish thousand dollars in trading account. These two are IRAs. So that's 40, 50, $40,000 there. And then I have three more IRAs, two for me and one for Kimberly, add up to about 160,000 more. And that's probably the majority of the money I got right there.
Well, hey, you're growing it like wildfire, so you're going to hit that 50,000. Imagine that. I mean, imagine having $50,000 a month coming in where you know how to create that, right? You're working for it, but you're not, no one else is in control. You're in total control and you're creating 50 grand a month for yourself. There's
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of freedom in that, brother.
well, that's I I think once I start passing 20,000, it's gonna free up a lot of things, free up a lot of stress in my life. And 50,000, that's what I averaged in 2024. 50,000 a month was the average of my year. It was really good to me, doing this guru thing and all the other trading things I do. And that was just everything worked really good. I was able to help people. I was able to do things. I was able to, anybody that needed anything, I was able to just jump in and help them. And then last year was not that kind to me, and it was rough. So now I'm trying to free myself up where I make the money, and it doesn't, like, no matter what happens, I have the money that I can make it, and I don't rely on anybody else but me. So
Yeah. Saw a question in here about dividend stocks. Probably my favorite is JNJ.
what would the tax fee be? Now, the majority of the money I'm making is in NASDAQ right here. And the funny thing about that is 60% of the gain is in the long-term gain category, even though these are day trades, technically. 60% of that gain counts as the 15% tax bracket, long-term gains. 40% of that gain is regular income, short-term ST. And that's at whatever tax bracket you're in, the 20, 27, 20, 30, 32, 35, whatever. Depends on what tax bracket you're in. It's, discounts is cash, tax is cash. So there's a reason that I do these. It's because 60% of the gain goes right here, and that makes a huge difference.
Totally. Because if you're just doing this with regular stocks like we do, that's ordinary income. So that could be 37%,
Yeah.
40%, right?
Yeah. Once you cross that, 650,000, whatever it is this year, it's gonna be 37%. So I do file jointly, so I get to, divide it across two of us. But yeah.
And I'm sure because you spend your nights reading the tax code, burning the midnight oil, that you find all kind of loopholes.
I try to keep it simple though. Try to keep it simple. So,
Beware the man that reads the tax code for fun.
yeah, there's places you can read. There's blogs and stuff. Yeah, I did see the Green Trader Tax place I had mentioned before. They put out a book, a tax guide on Amazon that you can buy this
Hmm.
year that breaks down all the things specifically for traders,
Hmm.
the things you can do and advantages you can take advantage of here in 2026 for traders.
Sounds like a
And
lot of reading you'd have to do.
yeah, I mean, nobody's looking out for you but you though. Even if you hire a tax man, they're not looking out for you more than you
My
are.
my guy's pretty good. I will say that. He's a tax attorney and a CPA. And in his off time, in his free time, he likes to sue banks. He sued a bunch of banks in South Dakota over some credit card thing.
Yeah,
Goes to Washington all the time. Really, really, real big tax dude.
but
So yeah, charges me
I was gonna say he likes to make some of your money into some of his money though.
$4,500. Yeah, but it's worth it. I mean, he saves me so much. But yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to have him. He's no spring chicken now. Talking about retiring. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I see. There's the other problem. Like, what do you do after that guy's gone?
Yeah, it's nothing I could do. I mean,
Uh,
it's way my taxes are way too complex, man. Just there's no way.
yeah, so I learned to do it myself, and buck stops here.
Yeah. I also like it too because he signs it. So if anybody from the IRS comes calling, he's the one that's got to show up.
Yep. So.
TurboTax Jack. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I use Block, that H&R
Yeah.
Block software.
If your stuff's easy, no problem. If you have a bunch of stuff, it's hard. It's
I
you're
guess
better
it,
off.
it takes me about 2 days to put all my crap into into that software. So anyway,
I don't spend any time on it at all.
right here we go. Of course, I talked to a CPA and they wanted me to do more work than I was doing to putting it in the tax software to give it to them. I was like, that
I
makes no
know.
sense.
Then
That
they
makes no
just
sense.
upload it. I know.
Yeah. I was like, that makes no sense for me to do all that work and pay you a big cut off of the. I was like, I'll just do it myself for $60. Anyway, so
So
435s, we sell the at the monies 25.90 right here on Tesla.
mm. Now, before we get talking about Tesla, you want to talk about some other stuff, or we want to go to this first?
Well, I thought we just, it's kind of the big event of the day. And I
Yeah.
thought we talk about the straddle, we maybe talk about some other things and come back to this at the end.
Okay. All right.
But for anybody that doesn't know how this works, Jack, you're a market maker. You were a market maker. And this is a poor man's easy way to figure out what the market makers are pricing in. Basically the fence, where they're putting the goalposts, where they want the game to stay inside of. Right there. You just come at the money, and yeah, it's not trading exactly at 435. If you want to go down here, 432, maybe that's a little closer, 50 cents. Still, almost the same price, 25.97, 7 cents difference. So basically, right at the money, the orange line is at the money. So you just come in here at the money, sell both sides. Why sell? That's just the way it works. All right. That's how you get the expected move. It takes the bid off the both sides. So right there, about $26 is what they're expecting to move. Now, is it $26 up or down, Jack?
Don't know.
Yeah, don't know. It's both ways. 26 up, 26 down. That's where the fences are. That's where the market makers have set the goalposts. They want the game to stay inside there for them to make the most money. So if you're buying a call or you're buying a put, they're already pricing in a $26 move into these
Yeah.
options.
You're paying. That's what people don't understand. It's really not a market maker expected move. It's that you're paying a super premium to get in on something that's inside that move. You're already paying, right? You're already paying. It would have to make an abnormal move now to make up for what you paid in premium.
Yeah, so it's going to have to break below 405 or it's going to have to break up here above 457 for you to really start making any money. It's kind of crazy. And, you know, maybe it does because the average moves on Tesla. This is just 2 days. This is not out a week. This works for every expiration. Which expiration? It works every expiration. If you want to know what it is for Monday, just pop out the Monday. There it is, 27. You want to know what it is for 1,052 days from now? There's the expected move, $330. Oh, right there, $300. That's the expected move between now and December 15th,
2028.
2028.
On those options, that's how they have them priced. That's the thing.
So if you didn't know how that worked, that's how it works. That's the poor man's way to do it. There's a very, very math intensive way to do it that I'm not getting into.
That's close enough, right?
It's close enough. Yeah, it's close enough for government work and for options traders. So it works.
Yeah,
And
Dennis asks, so market makers make money within the expected move. They make all the money. Really, they do. I mean, just look at the price you would have to pay to get something inside that expected move. You're already paying for the move. Now, if it was a half of that price or a quarter of that price, you could still get a move, a good profit inside that market maker move. But now because you're paying so much, the only way you're going to make any money if there's an outside move, which normally there hasn't been anything. The market makers price these things out like something's going to happen with the stock, and then nothing happens. That's happened so many times with Nvidia. It's become a joke. Like there's a huge market maker move, and then there's no move at all.
yeah, if I was going to guess, I would guess that based on the levels here where the options are stacked, I would guess that Tesla stays between 430 and 440 and screws all these option holders up here and all these ones down here.
All these 500 buyers, 500 strike price buyers. What's that looking like?
500's even, way up here
Yeah,
up
I
here
mean,
in
look,
banana land.
they're
You can see
buying
that
them.
big 500 level up there. But if they just keep it right down in here, screw the puts, screw the whole, screw the calls, it would make sense to me. That 500 level's way up here.
What are they paying? What's a 500 going for Friday?
For this Friday, it's probably ridiculously cheap. Let's see. I'll jump back to this Friday, not 3 years from now. Yeah, you can buy a Friday for 27 cents right now, 28 cents. Penny, look at that penny spread. Because
Tight.
there's it's like 8,000 of them have been bought today.
Lottery tickets.
Yeah, people just playing lottery. It's was that $25 scratchers? Right there. Maybe you get lucky. I doubt it. The market's not going to let that kind of move happen, I don't think.
No.
I don't see it happening, but it's possible. You know what's I said talk about the average move. Let me pull this up. Well, this is what gets interesting. So 68% of the time we drop. This is based on the last 10 years. I went through and pulled these manually. Publisher Nate has a cool tool that pulls it all auto magically, and he's got different numbers than I got. But I pulled these manually and did the move to the end of the move from earnings day to the end of the move, whatever move it was. 68% of the time that move is down, even if it's like an initial little bump and drop. And the average move down was 14%, and the average drop lasted 6 days. Some drops lasted 2 months, but the average drop lasts about 6 days. Now, for a move up that happens 31% of the time, the average move up is 39, almost 40% up. So much bigger move up than down. And 40%, if we went up 39.9% right now, that would put us at 600 from where we are right now. The average move, average reaction, all in, even though 70% of the time we drop, is a 2.8% pop. Average move all in. So I thought that was kind of interesting right there.
Any expectation up or down on this one?
You know, my kind of bias, my thoughts here with the way this thing's consolidating, I have a feeling that we might get a reaction that tags this orange line right here on the daily chart. And then we take off. A dip and rip.
A dip and rip within the context of like an after hours move, all in one fall swoop, or over
It,
days.
it, it could spike down there overnight, and then tomorrow we come in and it's up
Yeah,
and running.
yeah.
It's quite possible. I don't have the feel. Time is the hardest part of. I don't really predict time most of the time when I'm making these predictions because time is the hardest part. I get time wrong a lot. That's why I kind of usually buy options that are further out in time, or I buy shares instead of options, or I play like my leverage tickers I play instead of playing options. Um, I just get time wrong. It's the hardest part is to try to pick exactly when how long the move's going to take. And if you can predict how long the move's going to take, that's where being right on price and right on time, that's where you can make the big money in the market. Occasionally I get it, but a lot of times, like the NEM play I did, I went out and bought a leap because I just wasn't sure how long it's going to take. Ended up taking 9 months instead of 12 months. And then I bought leaps on Mora. This has been it's probably my biggest disappointment last year, multi-year disappointment. Bought leaps on this that expired, back there January 20th, 21st, whatever it was, January 16th. I mean, January 16th, 2025. Or 26th. I mean, I had a big chunk of options that I bought years back. Bought them like in 23 or 24. And this thing just didn't go. It didn't have enough time, I guess, or for the move. This is still sitting there with my pattern. It just hasn't gone yet. Like it's sitting here consolidating. I thought this was going to be it, but nope, we're doing more consolidating. We might need to touch 7 again before it rips. But so time is the hardest part. I ran out of time here. Now I got to make that money back. So
Yeah. All right. I got a couple before we get back into Tesla. I don't want to forget these. I
yeah.
did Rocket Lab.
Oh, I've gotten on Rocket Lab, huh?
I got it on Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab looks really good on my chart. So I
Yes. It,
sold the. This is the crazy thing about it. I sold the 78 strike price puts for this Friday, 29 cents.
yeah.
That seems pretty rich. It was 10 points out down from here in 2 days.
It did this little move right here. And more often than not, if we hold on that purple line,
Mm-hmm.
it'll go right up here
Yep.
to that target right there.
That's what I'm thinking.
But occasionally, I just have to throw this in there. Occasionally, that ends up not holding, and we come all the way down here to the orange line.
I'm
So
cool.
that could be the
78 put for me is good. I'll just start selling calls against it if I get it at 78, but I'm talking in 2 days. I just don't think it's going to go to 78 in 2 days. And if
yeah.
it does it, I'll take it. I already got paid for it. Um,
It
that was a
just
nice trade.
doesn't seem likely to happen in 2 days. Now, I know there's one that we both did yesterday.
I couldn't resist it.
It's got earnings coming up today after the close. And I put a few options on it in my dad's account. I couldn't find enough money to be able to work the margin in my own account. We talked about this yesterday in case anybody wasn't here. An 1850 put yesterday was bringing in somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 17 cents. And that worked out to like a 59% annualized ROI. Today, that's even more because we've lost another day. It's 1850 put, roughly going for at the mid, roughly 15 cents still. And what does that mean? If you're selling a put, this means you put up the cash to buy 100 shares. So it'd be $1,850. The market's willing to pay you 15 bucks for that right now. So 15 bucks divided by 1850 a share. That is 0.8% divided by 2 days, which is 0.4% times 365 days. If you could jump out a year and do this same trade for the same kind of proportional credit, this would yield 147% now today.
Ooh. Love it.
147%. So
And
if
all we
you,
need is that 36% for the 50K challenge.
yeah, now for the 50K challenge, basically, if you have a $1.6 million account and you go after a 40% return annualized, which is a reasonable rate of return, Jack and I show stocks every day that have a 40% rate of return just doing these covered calls and naked put, cash secured puts. We go through, this one right here, 147% annualized. If you did this all year long, you'd blow away 40% ROI. And that's not even,
And
you're not even playing at the money. You're playing way out here.
that's it. I would take the stock 2 points lower than where it is now. And if I got it at 1850, it'd probably be a little higher on the following Monday. But if not, I'd just start selling calls against it.
And see, look,
So
this thing has to drop down in here for you to put
in
that
two
stock.
days, in 2 days.
Has to do it by tomorrow afternoon, basically. Now we do have earnings, like that is the wild card, but it doesn't usually move
10%.
10% on earnings. Like that's not like it, you know, these drops on, these earnings plays it doesn't usually make the giant, that's a big move for an earnings. It might come down here, 19, but it's probably not going all the way down to 18. So I played 1850. Jack played 1850. It's going to take a dip below that to put us the shares tomorrow at the close. And I guess Friday at the close. Friday at the close. Today's Wednesday. Keep saying tomorrow. 2 days, Thursday, Friday. So just seems unlikely. And that's why I went after it.
Highly,
147% ROI annualized.
highly unlikely.
But
Did another fly this morning.
yeah.
Sold the 2650 put for this Friday for 50 cents. I'll take that seems fat to me. At a 2650 for 50 cents premium
Yeah. I
in
mean, we
two
did dip
days.
in there though. We did dip in there.
Yeah, I like it. I want it. I want it. I want this one. I'm liking this space stuff, man. I did Rocket Lab this morning. I did Fly. I had space on my mind, and I did Archer this morning. Now
Archer,
this
I'm not.
Fly, isn't that your move up pattern right there?
Yeah. So it has that move up, but it might come back down into this zone. So this is
I'll
what I'm
take it.
cautious about
I don't mind.
is it only does so many moves up before we get a bigger retrace. But this did hold a third. And we did this first move up, retrace to a 618, second move up, retrace to a 618. And this is now the third move up and a retrace to the 618. But yeah, I just have this habit of if you get the same thing over and over, one time you get burned. So if I hit it a couple times and I get my money, then I usually step back and let it cool off a second before I jump on it again. That's kind of what I did on Rocket Lab. Um, I jumped on it in the summer. Everybody wondered why I didn't just jump right back on it. I got out right over here, let it cool off until right over here, is it went lower. And then I jumped on it right in here, got back off of it, and now I'm letting it cool off again before I jump on it again. It's just
I'm
been,
trying to get on.
it's just my way of trading. Like once I get a big money, I usually try to let my head cool off. I don't want to have FOMO. I don't want to have, I booked the money. I don't want to try to I want to get my emotion back out of it before I go after it again. And
I took a
that's
directional trade on this too. I've got to admit it. So I sold the puts, the 78 strike price puts, but I like that chart so much that I bought some stock,
all
and
right.
I have not sold calls yet.
That's okay. I mean, I got no qualms. My way is just a way. It's not the way to trade.
No, I like your way. We just differ a little bit.
Yeah, differ a little bit. That's
And then Arch,
Now this chart is a little sketchy to
I
me.
know, I know, I know. It's sketchy to me too. No, ACHR.
ACHA.
Oh,
ACHR.
AC,
Yeah, Archer
something
Aviation.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, this
that's really
still
sketchy.
still looks almost the same.
I know. So I sold the 7 puts.
All right. Yeah. This could bounce right here. It's this one played out, retraced a little deeper. As far as patterns go, though, this hasn't done anything for
No,
me in
no,
a year.
I know, but that beta is kind of high still. And I'm gonna play ball here.
Now, see, if this were right down at 6, I might be interested. If it were near this low, yeah, right there. I'm gonna have to wait. You either have to wait for it to confirm that the bottom's in place, or yeah, basically confirm the bottom's in place either way, either by making a lower low or by breaking back up through my daily roadmap line here and then retesting it. So I need some sort of confirmation that this is done. That looks a lot like the Bitcoin consolidation right there. You see how that chopping around in there under the roadmap line?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That reminds me a lot of IBIT, and we both kind of left that alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking that this is about to take a turn down. Now, if Bitcoin dips in here in the 40s, I'm probably be back on it like yeah, stink on rice or stink on whatever, white on rice.
This just is not doing anything. It should be doing something with precious metals going higher, with the dollar going lower. This should be doing something other than what it's doing.
But the 4-year cycle is like what this tells me is the 4-year cycle still has enough whatever behind it that's what's playing out right now. And in case anybody didn't know, the 4-year cycle after Bitcoin makes a big run, and it's not evident on this chart because this is just the ETF. Got to get the all-time history here. After Bitcoin makes its big run higher, which it made it all-time high back there in October, it usually takes 12 months to cool off. We saw this happen in 2021, and it took 12 months to cool off. And it made a big downside move. And then once it takes 12 months to cool off, then it goes on another run. That run lasts roughly 3 years. And then we go into a 12-month cool off. That's the 4-year cycle on Bitcoin. And I think we're into this cool down period, and it could last through August, September, October this year. We topped out in October. 12 months later is October, but it happened at the beginning of October, so could be September, and we even could cut it short just a little bit, so it could be August when we bottom out. So
It did not fit the narrative that as the financial situation got worse in America, Bitcoin would go up. As gold went up, this would go up. As oil went up, this would go up. This did not meet anybody's expectations. And it continues to disappoint. I think it's going lower.
and it hasn't sufficiently bummed everybody out yet.
Right.
As I say, I think that Bitcoin needs to sufficiently bum out everybody after running for 3 years.
Yeah.
And once everybody's bummed out about it, it'll make a bottom and start going higher again.
Well, they'll know that it has no affiliation with gold or the dollar or anything else that it was expected to be a store of wealth. It is not. It's turning into just a pure speculative play with no adoption. Everybody said it'd be adopted and used in commerce by now, and none of that's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the narrative going on. I mean, that's my thesis going on for Bitcoin. I haven't changed my story. I predicted we would top out. We missed my top day by 2 years, and I predicted that 3 years ago. I missed it by 2 days with a 3-year out prediction, and then
Amazing.
we'll see if I catch the bottom. I mean, you know, now what I think is going to happen to get there, I think we're going to take one more dip. And the reason I would be a buyer in the 40s on IBIT is because after we do this dip, I think we're going to take a 3 to 4 month rally back up in the 100 to 115 area, right up here. Get everybody excited again. And then we're going to go down in that late summer, early fall
The
and
rug pull.
rug pull, rug pull, if you will, and really bum everybody out about Bitcoin. And I think that's what's going to happen. Like that's my path right there. It's all Elliott wave. Like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will be wave 5 down right here. Then we'll do an A, B, C correction back up into this resistance where the 618 sits. And then we do the C wave down. This will be an A wave, 5 wave A wave. This will be a 3 wave B wave. And then this will be probably a faster drop than this was over here for a C wave down into that August, September, October timeframe. Maybe bottoming in my guess is 35 to 50K zone.
Oh, dude. People would be throwing in the towel.
And
This
that's where
micro strategy would be done. Let's take a look at MSTR and
that,
MSTY.
that's
Holy mackerel.
that's where I think we're going to bottom out. So,
That's the short that I missed.
and here we are just sitting here, haven't really, there's no enthusiasm for this to go any higher. This big
Backbreaker.
candle, that everybody hyped up is like the once in a lifetime. You catch it, it's gonna make everybody millions, and then stopped everybody out, and still hadn't done anything. This is starting to look like GME just on a small scale right there. When you look at these little
Yep.
hypes, GME does these same little spikes on its grind lower right there.
How about MSTY? We haven't looked at that in a while.
Oh gosh, what a piece of garbage.
I know. They're going to have to reverse split this thing. Something.
This thing just keeps costing
Oh,
people money. Although with the stability in price, they're able to generate their yield without it getting out of control too bad. I think they're able to salvage it a little bit with it just kind of staying in this zone, not making big rips. I have a feeling that this is what they actually planned on when they built these yield max funds,
mm-hmm.
for it to just churn in a zone, and they're able to make the yield.
Mm-hmm. Without
If it
seeing
start
losses on the stock price.
if it starts ripping, that's when they start absorbing giant losses because their strategy isn't built for big rips in the stock price, either higher or lower.
Yeah. They want to do what we're doing with TSLL.
And I think they're doing it on synthetic positions instead of buying the stocks and stuff like that. They're actually doing option income strategies based on synthetic positions. So they buy options and sell options against them. And it's already done a reverse split. So be careful out there. I wouldn't touch this with anybody's money,
Nope.
let alone my money.
Carol wants to see SLVO and Jody wants to see PG.
SLVO.
Silvo.
I wouldn't. You could do better yourself, probably.
That's only 12% a year yield. You can do better than that.
Yeah, I mean,
No trade in it though. It's just that you wanted to buy it for the yield. Other than that, it's no trade in the stock.
and see, looking at it long term, look, when silver was doing kind of nothing, grinding sideways to higher, this thing was grinding into the dirt. Now that
That's the
silver's on,
problem with some of these covered call funds. They're not all, you know,
now that
candy.
silver is on its biggest rip ever, this thing's barely moved.
Yeah, don't like it. You can do 1 or 2% a month yourself on covered calls.
See, look at that. Silver in blue compared to SLVO. Yeah,
How
that's the
about
problem.
PG? I just sold a bunch of PG.
Procter Gamble.
Yeah.
Well, that's a downtrend.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch this.
Yeah, me neither. He's asking if it's setting up for a bearish move, probably to play a put on it. I think it is going lower.
I mean, there's no guarantee though. That's the problem. It's like it's just in a downtrend, but it could just slowly keep bleeding like it has been.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not going to move big, it's very difficult to make money on a put because the market will price you out.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay too much time. You're going to have to buy way too much time.
And
Month
this,
out.
you know, if this is a significant low, that was the move up, and this is the retrace, we could be done on the downside and actually break out and come back up near the high. That's the tough thing. We're into this consolidation here, and we're at the bottom of it, finding support. I don't know that it's going to break down any further. Right there. I don't like to trade counter the market. The market's going higher. We've got, I don't know why so many people like to do this. I guess because the put premium is so good on the downside, but Nasdaq's going higher. S&P is going, was higher. Now it's flat for the day, coming into FOMC at 2 o'clock, which they're not going to, highly anticipated not to do jack diddly squat, a dovish nothing. And let me pull up this chart and kind of, so this is, I think this is really interesting. We talked about this a couple months ago. I was talking about this last night during my request show after I went to an Ask Me Anything. People were asking me about, and maybe I'll put this on a chart I can draw on really quickly so I can actually sketch on it. Pop it up bigger. So this was snapshotted back several months ago. Right now, we're hanging out. And if you look at the NASDAQ price action, it looks just like that right there. And move this around. And we're hanging out right around the 26,000 price. So this all jives right there. We just did this dip into the November Thanksgiving low. Then we've been chopping right there. We've been doing this chop. We haven't broken higher. And we're just about to break out to new highs on NASDAQ. Now, this rip right here could be part of the AI bubble and all these IPOs that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. And this could push NASDAQ up to like 40,000 if we echoed what we did in the dot-com bubble. And look at this so far. The rip, if you line this up with 1996 and January 2023, right around the time ChatGPT came out, look at how the red echoes the blue. The blue is from .com. And we've been doing this right in here. If we do a breakout and do a massive run higher on NASDAQ, we could be up to 40,000 in the next 6 to 12 months. But then, massive downside potential. Now, what's interesting on S&P 500, it's already doing the same thing over here too. We're doing this little spike out right here. We're pushing all-time highs. Right here, we're doing this little spike. We're potentially pushing it higher. Then we could have some volatility. And as NASDAQ pushes up to this crazy level up here, we could just have volatility in the S&P 500. I thought this was crazy how much this is still riding along very parallel to the dot-com bubble right there. It's crazy how parallel it
It
is right
really
now.
is. Really is. That's a great indicator.
So I'm going to keep track of that. And I don't have a way to update it. I got that from Zero Hedge. It was a copy from Alpine Macro. I have no idea who they are. But, it looks like so far the bubble's still on and we could still go, 25,000 could be laughable on NASDAQ by the time we get to 40,000. But then we could hit the top. So all these narratives just keep all coming together in the same thing, same way, same direction. And if we get these big IPOs, that's just more money, more liquidity pumping in the market. Dollar being
Billions.
soft and gold ripping higher. This is all just part of the same narrative.
It
Now,
is. You
equities
look at
and gold going high at the same time has never happened that didn't end horribly for society. So it's not acting as a hedge for bad times. It's acting as a hedge against fiat right now. But so are stocks. And if they both collapse together, where do you put your money? So even though Bitcoin's not acting, not on this train, uh, we're into a kind of an unprecedented situation a little bit as far as modern
We
times
are.
go.
This low dollar, it's almost going to force somebody, maybe not Powell, to raise rates.
Yeah. And that's, it's kind of what I
That's
was talking about. If, this is a threat out there that if somebody dumps our treasuries, which would be bad for everybody probably, but if they get the wild hair and dump our treasuries, either Japan or Europe or, China doesn't have hardly any treasuries anymore, even though people say they do, they actually don't. They have less than, I think they have like less than half a percentage of our treasuries. But if somebody were able to dump a bunch of treasuries and cause the price to spike, then the Fed would have to raise rates and chase that spike in interest rates. And that would be a bad situation, I think. And, what's interesting though also is that oil, if the dollar continues to be weak and oil continues to pump, inflation is going to get out of control and the treasury rate's going to chase inflation. And the Fed's going to have to try to do something to try to control inflation.
raise rates. There's 2 out of 3 scenarios where they got to raise rates.
So, and funny enough, back here in 2022, I drew the fact that I thought we would spend a prolonged period sideways and then we'd have to raise rates. It's just my timing's been a little off and we held rates sideways longer than I thought. Now, there's another interesting scenario too, is that we're doing the exact same thing with rates and treasuries and stuff that we did in 2019, right before we dumped out in COVID. This was financial crisis, supposedly all caused by a virus, but it was already on the charts. And this top right here, if you compare it to the top we spent right here, this top right here is exactly 2 times the duration that this top went flat. This drop right here is exactly 2 times longer than that drop we did right there. 2 times for that one. This little flat right here and the flat that we just got done doing before we cut the rates the last 2 times, this little flat was exactly 2 times longer than this little flat right here. If something happens right here, financial crisis, and we have to dump rates back down, it echoed this move 2 times over here in the duration. It's just kind of weird how this is all played out so far. That top was 2 times longer. This pull down was 2 times longer. And this little flat right here was 2 times longer. We just haven't done the final dropout. You can see it. I mean, we caught up to the rates. How long do we, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It's a good analysis for sure.
So these are sitting here as like threats that I'm very keenly aware of, that I feel like something's brewing right here. It's either we're going to pop or the wheels are going to come off now and we're going to drop. So we either pop and get into the financial crisis, or the financial crisis just shows up now, whatever it's going to be, and we drop out. Either way,
Yeah,
big
the
problems in
yen
the
isn't
market.
worth saving. The yen would be not worth it.
And Bessick coming out today saying that we're not going to buy any yen, despite all the rhetoric that in the price
You
checks and
should
all that.
definitely not buy yen. And let the yen do what it's going to do. Let the dollar do what it's going to do. The
So,
intervention isn't stronger than the market.
and you want to come back around to Tesla, or you want to talk about something else real quick?
Yeah, Tesla. We had a request for Coca-Cola, and
Yeah, we're
what else
about
we
to our
want to see
time, so I
here?
don't want to run over too much here.
Gild and Co. Real quick, KO.
Yeah, KO is just sitting at the top of the range for
KO's
the
just
last.
doing KO. I'm still long that. I've been long that forever.
Yeah, we're just.
Gilead Scientific. I've never touched it.
Yeah, we never traded that. It is ripping,
That'd be a
and
good sell signal for me right there. That can't continue.
look at the last time. The stocks tend to do the same sort of the crap, even though the story's different this time. It's always different this time. That looks
Hmm.
the same.
This looks like a good bear put spread.
That looks the same.
I like shorting this
What do you expect to happen next?
down.
That correction right there. You expect that stocks tend to do the same patterns over and over. When they do something they've never done before, that's when you've got to watch out too. But when they do the same stuff they've done before, they tend to, once we get the same rip, they tend to get the same reaction. That's, I made a ton of money. I actually became a guru on this, what I call echo trades, which are echoes in the market that repeat themselves, repeatable patterns. And that's what I sit here and trade all the time. It's just repeatable patterns in the market. Something like 80% of the time, stocks just do the same thing they've always done. Same patterns, same moves, same corrections. Funny enough, the corrections will almost always be the same size. The big ones will be the same size. The small ones will always be the same size. And it's because of the algorithms that trade these stocks. Like the algorithms that trade Apple don't suddenly come over and trade GILD. The algorithms that trade GILD trade GILD. So when we get these pullbacks, it's like, oh, the pullback's the same size as, it was last time. So now it's time to go long. And since like 95% of all the trading is algorithmically controlled on the day to day, that tends to be the way that works in the market. So anyway, I digress.
All right. That was a good show today, folks. We got another Tesla roundtable coming up in half an hour. And what do we got now, Blake?
Well, it's funny you start talking about Tesla. We got your Tesla payout plan that's on the slate
Mm-mm.
for today.
I
That's a good
love
one.
this. Yeah, yeah, this is a great one. Uh, I think it's the most profitable potential for a Tesla trade. It doesn't really involve the stock. We got a really cool way to skin the cat using options.
That's
And
right.
it's one of my favorites. And if we get lucky, we get it once a week. And hopefully we'll have one coming up tomorrow.
I got a good feeling right after earnings.
Yeah.
It should be
Well,
a good one.
share with them how it's done because I think they're going to love
Yeah,
this
I'd
presentation.
love to. I would absolutely love to. Let me now it's my turn to steal the screen back, Jeffrey.
Okay.
I can stop the share.
I'm just teasing with you. Let me pull this up here and stick around, guys. You don't want to miss this. Tesla's huge
Yeah,
and they
Jack
got
has